Okay, so it's been a couple days since I checked in, and I just thought I have been very busy, and I just thought, you're not that busy. Just check in and let's talk about food and where I'm at. And my friend Mia, um, who I share a lot about my struggle with keeping my weight down and keeping my food intake down. And she shared something to me this morning about she was listening to something by someone who was a teacher or something, or a lecturer at the War College, and he was talking about how the final verdict of a war is never final. In other words, you can win a victory, but the results of the struggle will not ultimately be known. I'm just kind of making my best guess as to what I interpret it to be until time progresses and you see how it all shakes out, over time. It's not like a goal post, it's not a touchdown, final results, boom. And that's so true. And she said, the reason it spoke to her was because of her struggle with food and weight. And it's such a true, concept that very often, I get the weight off only for the weight to return because I lose my vigilance and I get distracted and I think I've got this, and I take my attention off it and I'm not as strict with myself. I don't quantify things. I don't watch. I let things go. I might not weigh myself in the morning. In fact, this morning I did weigh myself. It took me a little while to get on that scale because I was like, oh, I don't have to weigh myself again. And I was like, I think 122.4, and I had been 121, so I gained a pound. And I have to know that. I gained a pound. Okay? So I'm going up, and I want to go down. I could lose another 6 pounds, and exercise, and strength training, and all that kind of good stuff. It's a process. I went on a really nice bike ride with a friend on Sunday, about a 10-mile bike ride. I felt really fit. She has much stronger legs than I have, and she just, went forward really fast. But it was a very comfortable ride. It was a little warm, but it was just, nice to sweat, and it was not overly oppressively hot. Just kind of nice, warm. And then we went through this one area in the park with like an overhang of trees. It's a very soft pine kind of, and it's cool, and you're in the shade, and it was just a really nice bike ride, and I hope to do it again. So what's going on with food? Got up, I wasn't hungry, I had some tea, and then Gary came over and we worked on the internet and got some parts ordered for him for his engines and his repair work. And then I was just kind of anxious, and I just thought, I need to get something in my stomach. I'm going to have some ramen noodles. And that's not a real bad choice. Ramen noodles apparently are 400 calories, plus I put tofu and vegetables in there. No oil. And that's probably another, let's say, 100. So it's a 500 calorie deal. And then I had cookies. I had my delicious peanut butter chocolate chip cookies that melt in your mouth, not in your hand. Oh my God, they melt in your hand too. Ooh, they're good. And I probably had 4, maybe 5. So let's say it's 125 a cookie times 5. That's, let's say, 625 calories plus 500. That's 1,100. I think a day I'm allowed to have 2,100. So I don't have any tofu in the house right now. I was thinking tonight I would have some. I do have, what is the name of that soup? Miso soup. I have miso, and I would like to make some nice miso soup with tofu tonight. I'm trying to think, eating very Japanese. I might instead have a nice sushi wrap. That's probably what I will have. doesn't take tofu. I got some avocados because that makes that really nice. A little carrot, a little pepper, some wasabi, soy sauce, rice. It's really nice, filling, but not fattening little dish. I'm thinking real Japanese these days. I'm studying Aikido, and I'm thinking, instead of thinking French, the French stay thin, but that's almost like a miracle. And the Japanese stay thin, and that's a lot more understandable because they don't eat a lot of fat, and they eat really healthy stuff, So I'm thinking more Japanese than French. French is, I think you have to be born French. You have to really parse out your cookies, one a month, something like that, and talk about it all the time. So that's where I'm at. I really wanted to just express and review and just check in, because checking in for me, in retrospect, once I check in, I'll sort of have a flavor for where I'm at, and I'm okay, but it's important to stay aware. There's a guy I really like on the internet, Charlie Jaboulet, I think his name is, and he did an interview with Rich Roll, and he had been a very successful music producer when he was very young, and he was from Atlanta, Georgia, someplace like that, and I think he was big in some kind of hip hop or some kind of music, and he was very fat, small man, short guy, very fat, and very cute. He was a cute kid, but he just got totally just so fat. And it was stress, he was making millions with this record thing, and he wasn't exercising. He wasn't doing anything but eating fast food, and every greasy thing that, anybody could think about. And he, ate it all. And now he's trying to turn his life around, and it's not easy. I look at his struggle on the internet, and he's such a nice person, and he tries so hard. But he's a little guy, and he likes food, and he likes to eat. And he's an entrepreneur, and he obviously takes on very stressful enterprises. And, he doesn't have a 9-to-5 job. He's self-motivated, and he's trying to make it all work. It can get very stressful. And he does marathons, but late at night, when the fast food calls, it's hard to resist when nobody's around. Even if you have to show up the next day and talk about it. It's alone with yourself. It's a whole different story. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to be mindful that it's not just winning the battle of losing the weight. It's winning the peace and maintaining the peace and keeping the gains. Keeping the enemy at bay. On a day by day, you have to win the war every day. You have to reclaim the territory and not give it up every day. And to not say, I got this, because the forces will rush back in and take that territory that you have gained, like a football game, They'll take it all back. You got to do it again. I don't want to do it again. Okay, so that's it.